Hey Pokemon Masters, Toby here, and this is my final Pokemon theory on the channel, for now at least. Speaking of finals, right now might be your final chance to get hold of my Tropical Festivities jumper before the merch store closes down. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting me, whether it's through picking up the jumper or the Tree of Evolution, or over the years just watching my videos, liking my videos, commenting on them. This might not be the last video, it may be the last theory. It's hard to know with the Indigo Disc coming out, but yeah, this is probably going to be one of the last ones, because it's also the first one, the very first Pokemon theory I ever did here on the channel, the one that launched my YouTube career 9 years ago, the theory explaining the origins of the Crystal Onix. I have thought about this Pokemon theory a lot over the years, and since I made this theory originally back when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had just come out, there has been a lot of new Pokemon lore, so I'm not going to be going it alone. I'm going to give you 2 to 3 answers on what I think the Crystal Onix actually is, and I'm going to be helped out today by another Pokemon researcher, the wonderful Cupperfee.
Hey Toby, can I have a go at being the Pokemon theorist?
Yeah, of course you can help out on this one.
Woo!
Right, let's start off with the very first time I covered this topic by looking into the Pokedex entries of Onix's evolution, Steelix. Steelix has Pokedex entries talking about how it's somehow harder than Diamond, despite the fact it's Steelix. It's supposed to be made of steel. Steel is not harder than Diamond. In fact, there's not many things that are. So how can it be harder than Diamond? Well, we all know that Onix evolves into Steelix by way of the metal coat mechanically, but maybe in terms of the lore, it is just that, a metal coat, an outer layer. We learn from Onix's Pokedex entry that it lives underground, ingesting mud and dirt and minerals. It's possible that it's picking up metallic minerals that, well, you are what you eat, make their way to the outside, creating a steel shell, and that's what Steelix's exterior is. Steelix's Pokedex entries further mention that it forms underground under intense heat and pressure, so potentially what's happening on the inside of Steelix is that its body is a crystal core that's hardening and becoming more like, well, Diamond. That's how it can be harder than Diamond. It's got a crystal body, or a body of Diamond. And that is what the Crystal Onix is. We further see this in Onix's, or rather Steelix's, Mega Evolution, where we see a crystal structure jettisoning out from underneath the core of the Pokemon. It might technically not be Diamond. It might be some kind of special Pokemon crystal. This is, of course, the generation of the Mega Stones, which are their own type of, like, crystal structure. And we see also on Mega Steelix there are, like, these floating bits around it. That might be as the result of magnetism. Have you ever noticed how in, like, the Pokemon Stadium games, for example, Onix and Steelix float? Well, again, it could be because the magnetic metal particles within their body are charged in a way that causes them to levitate. It's the magnetic elements in the Pokemon repelling away from the magnetic field over the Earth. And I still really like this idea that Crystal Onix is just what every Onix looks like underneath the dirt and mud that surround its body. This Onix does not live underground. It lives on a place called Sunburst Island in the Orange Islands. Sunburst suggests some kind of meteoric impact, so there might be something else going on there. And furthermore, this Onix is not weak to water like other Onix are. In fact, it seems to be weak to fire, and given the way that it looks, it's possible that it's not actually made of crystal, but rather made of big bits of ice. If that's the case, then solution number 2 has always been, oh, this is a regional variant. This Onix is a regional variation of Onix, because when I made this theory in the first place, regional evolution didn't exist. Alolan Sandshrew and Alolan Vulpix were introduced the following generation in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and when I first saw them with their ice type, I immediately thought, oh, of course, they're going to do the Crystal Onix, because they did the Alolan Executor, which originally popped up on the jungle artwork, so it looked like there was a want to repurpose some older Pokemon content. And on top of that, just look at the Orange Islands and the Alola region. It's an island-hopping adventure with trials instead of gyms. Ash wins the league in both cases, and of course, when it comes to the Pokemon you meet there are these regional variants, but exclusively of Kanto Pokemon. That's the Orange Islands in game form, so surely they were going to do a Crystal Onix then, right? Right? They did not. I then held my hopes out for the Galar region, because of course that was the next region to introduce regional variation, and once again, no luck. I thought the reason that they didn't do it in Sun and Moon is because any Pokemon that got new forms in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were not Pokemon that previously had Mega Evolution. It seemed to be the case that they wanted to give new forms to Pokemon that hadn't got new forms when Mega Evolution happened in X, Y, and Oras. But then, come like Sword and Shield, we had Gigantamax Pokemon of Pokemon that previously had Mega Evolution, so now it was an option for Onix, but again, nothing. Legends Arceus rolled around with the Hisuian forms, and there are gem-like structures all across the Hisui region from which we get the stone that we make our Pokeballs from. Perhaps this would be the time for Onix. But again, nothing happened. And this is such a shame because a regional variant would make sense. It would make sense for the type difference. But then, type changing, crystal structures, how could it not be? When I first saw the Paldea region, I thought, there's going to be crystal forms of Pokemon. Surely there'll be terrestrial Pokemon and terrestrial forms, and so I was certain we would finally get Crystal Onix canonized, even if it did have a big crown above its head. But that also did not end up happening. So what exactly is the Crystal Onix? Well, allow my lovely girlfriend and fellow Pokemon researcher and Pokemon YouTuber, who by the way you should absolutely subscribe to, her link at the top of the description, let Cupperfee explain.
Naturally, when terrestrialization was first announced, everyone's first thought was, crystal forms? Seems kind of familiar.
True crystal forms could finally bring the Crystal Onix to life, but upon release, all we got are a bunch of gaudy hats with a texture overlay. But it's looking like the beautiful crystalline Pokemon that we've all dreamed of will just be wishful thinking. There have been exceptions given to 2 Pokemon in the gargantuan masks of terrestrialized Ogerpon and the poster child of the phenomenon, Terapagos. But it's a shame that this treatment wasn't extended to Pokemon like the Onix line.
Even without the type change to ice, it would have been pretty sick to finally get our hands on Crystal Onix after it was revealed over 20 years ago.
Although terrestrial forms are seemingly out of the window, Generation 9 has introduced a new type of form that would do the job just as well. This is Blood Moon Ursaluna. You might have heard of him. This is a Pokemon with a form that it gained over prolonged exposure to a new environment, which is a pretty similar story to the Crystal Onix of Sunburst Island. This island houses statues made from glass that are so well sculpted that they look like they could almost come to life. This is taken literally by the rock-type Pokemon Onix that found itself stranded on the island and whose stone body has become glass-like crystal due to the terrestrial energy in the water. This is similar to what happened in the Timeless Woods of Kit and Carmeet from the terrestrial pool on the mountaintop. This Onix was even known to fluctuate its type in battle as a result. According to more recent reports, however, it seems as though the Crystal Onix may have evolved some time ago. The now Sunburst Steelix is a behemoth that few have seen with their own eyes, but one that is worth the search. Every facet of its levitating body is intricately carved crystal, reminiscent of Terapagos' shell, shining with fractals of prismatic light. The diamond-like skin of this creature is somehow even more impenetrable than its typical steel counterparts, shrugging the most devastating of blows with not so much as a scratch. Equipped with moves like Shell Smash, Heavy Slam, and its new signature, Sunburst, a move that uses refracted light to flinch opponents and follows up with physical damage from a swift slam if it goes first, much like the move Fake Out. This twinkling titan also has a new ability in Prismatic Protection, which is able to give Steelix immunity to whatever type hits it first in battle. For more Blood Moon creations, Funky Fusions, and general Pokemon creations, make sure to check out my channel, where I upload a few times a month.
I've only been making videos a short time, but I'm having a blast learning the ropes, and I have the best teacher a girl could ask for only a floor away.
Can you make me a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me onto your channel. Now all we need is to have you on mine.
Sunburst Steelix. I personally really love this idea, and actually this whole video and that concept was also Phoebe's idea before it was a collaboration between the two of us. Look, I might not be uploading in 2024. I might not upload ever again onto Birdkeeper Toby. I just don't know. But Cupperfee, she has started her YouTube journey this year. She's done 3 months and 3 videos. Actually, maybe 4 months and 4 videos by the time this comes out. And these videos are of such exceptional quality. They remind me of when I started and the passion that I had for YouTube. And I'm more passionate about her videos, generally speaking, nowadays than I am for my own. If you liked what you saw and the way that because she just edited and did that last section of the video, if you liked it, then please consider clicking the link at the top of the description, heading over to her channel and checking out her other videos. If you like them, consider subscribing, leaving a like, leaving a comment, maybe even supporting on Patreon. She is making a YouTuber, like being a full-time YouTuber, and making that her job. She's going to make a real go of it over the next year, and I want to support her as best I can, but obviously what she really needs is the support of you watching, everyone individually coming together to make Cupperfee the amazing place that I know it can be. rallied around some content that is in my opinion, and click the link, see for yourself, be a judge yourself, is of exceptional quality. So please make sure you subscribe to Cup of Fee. Thank you all so much for joining me on my YouTube journey. There may be a few more videos after this one. I'm not quite sure how many, because I'm not quite sure what my final upload schedule is going to look like. But I think this is probably the last time I cover the Crystal Onix theory. I really do like the idea that it's just kind of like a Blood Moon Ursaluna form. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Make sure also, while you're down there in the description, to head on over to the merch store to pick up some of my merch before it's gone forever. Thank you all so much for watching. Happy holidays. And of course, soar high, Pokemon Masters.
Hello there, it's me, Professor Oak. This video's over, so please choose another one wisely and quickly. Bye-bye.
Thank you anyone who has ever contributed through Patreon, and especially the big patrons of this month, Lucas Gates, Anthony Lee, Charmander Aznable, Wietse Dik, Immortal Absol, and Jed Rubin. Thank you for your incredible support.